All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NBA show. I do apologize really quick if this is the worst quality live stream in the whole world. Uh, I tried to. Ciro's got something going on with his dog, and I I shouldn't be hosting this because of my Wi-Fi. It's that bad, but you know what? If it's not that bad, then now we'll know. Um, I've been home in Chicago for a couple of days now, and I can't stream my Rockets podcast because I guess our bandwidth is so low that you just cannot host a stream. Or I did forgot to click send to the boys, but nonetheless, I mean, hopefully it's fine. I don't really know. We're at that point in the off season where good news is, however, we do have only 2 months until the start of the regular season, which is pretty cool because I remember looking at the calendar like 1 month ago and seeing, oh shit, dude, basketball doesn't start for 3 more months. Well, that was a pretty fast month, and now we have football here. Obviously, with the regular season starting up, we got preseason in like 8 days, and so before you know it, man, basketball season will be upon us. And I've got a feeling it's just going to be a great year. There's a lot of storylines right now. I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, I mean, we're all anticipating pretty much like a Damian Lillard Miami Heat trade, but I wouldn't be surprised if something else bigger time happened. Right now, you're mainly seeing camp deals. You're mainly seeing your team's two-way contracts being, you're seeing guys get cut loose. You're seeing guys get signed to camp deals. Yeah, that's really it with that. There is quite literally almost no basketball news. The basketball news, yesterday's live stream, unfortunately, if you guys missed the show, we watched an SNL skit on it, and SNL was like, you're all set with that. We're going to block that live stream. So we had like 10 views on live, 15 views on the live stream, and we don't make money on this podcast. But SNL was like, nah, they're all set with that. So, all right, to each their own. So the news today, if you missed yesterday, there wasn't any news. So we're reaching. Anthony Edwards changes his number to number 5. That's the basketball news of the day. Amir Coffey arrested, cited for carrying concealed weapon. I don't even really want to look into it because, I mean, that seems like a whole mix-up. The Olympics are this summer, or next summer, right? When are the next Olympics? Is it Paris 2024, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let's go through a standings here. I do have a power rankings. Let's go. We'll just do a power rankings. We used to every time we had a solo show, we would just go through a power ranking, and it'd be like a whole freaking hour. So Denver Nuggets number 1. Reggie Jackson re-signed. DeAndre Jordan re-signed. We didn't really see much of either of them last season. Justin Holiday, pretty sneaky, great addition because they lost Bruce Brown. They lost a couple of pieces. We also didn't really see too much Ish Smith in more of their championship run. We didn't see that much of Jeff Green in their championship run, but nonetheless, Jeff Green and Bruce Brown are going to be unfortunate losses. Off the court, Jeff Green, brutal loss. On the court, Bruce Brown, brutal loss. However, they did have a bunch of early second round draft picks. They had almost a bunch of late first round picks. Made a couple of moves, but I mean, altogether, man, I'm not enamored by the Denver Nuggets roster, but I'm enamored by Nikola Jokic. So they have Nikola Jokic, which means I'm not going to bet against them this upcoming season. They proved me very wrong this past season. I really thought that their lack of big man rim protection was going to make an impact, and Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets defense in general did a great job making sure that wasn't an issue. So, roster-wise, maybe Denver is not number 1, but they won the championship, so they have to be number 1. All right, Milwaukee Bucks, new head coach, Adrian Griffin coming on over from Toronto. Change of scenery, fresh change of scenery. I love Adrian Griffin. I think he totally deserves this, and it's a great move by Milwaukee because the loss of Mike Budd I don't think was necessary. I really don't. We look at, man, like Karl Malone is a great example of, I think, why you should hold on to coaches that are good fits. Karl Malone, up until this season, up until this playoff run, was on the hot seat. Have I been saying Karl Malone? I feel like I keep saying Karl Malone, the Utah Jazz basketball player. But anyways, people get fired way too quick in the NBA. It's absolutely ridiculous. Bud wasn't there that long. Mike Malone has been there for almost a decade. Actually, this season might be Mike Malone's decade, but he's getting close to 10 years as a head coach for the Denver Nuggets. They didn't win a championship until this past season. Yeah, my bad. I did that yesterday on a YouTube video. I made a Seahawks video. They have a cornerback called Kobe Bryant, who I very much am aware of. And the first thing I did in the video, and I didn't even notice, I called him Kobe White, the Bulls point guard. So all these brain farts recently, man. We're wired. It's August. We're trying to have a killer month. Apologies on that. But anyways, Adrian Griffin, huge addition in the wake of Mike Budd, which, like I said, I really don't think Budd should have been fired. He has a championship ring to prove it. At the end of the day, man, the Bucks were so injured last season. Now, with that being said, the Golden State Warriors, I think Clay coming back 2 years ago was a little bit different than Chris Middleton coming back this past season. But, man, you got Giannis, you have Chris, you have Drew, you have Brooke, you have a great roster, and you have a new coach coming on in town, and maybe he can help get that roster playoff-wise, or, that's the thing, man. The Bucks are still really freaking good. The Bucks should have not lost in the first round, and it's actually absurd. It's ridiculous. Chris Middleton or no Chris Middleton, it was a failure of a season. I don't care what Giannis is trying to tell me. You guys failed last season. You lost in the first round to the Miami Heat like a sorry-ass basketball team. Sorry-ass basketball team. So we see some guys coming on in. Robin Lopez, Malik Beasley was a phenomenal addition that nobody's talking about. Jay Crowder resigned. Hopefully he has more of a elevated role on this Bucks roster next season. Javon Carter heads on over to my Chicago Bulls. Huge loss. Very brutal loss for the Milwaukee Bucks. Myers Leonard, Wes Matthews, Goran Dragic, nothing really there. I think the Joe Ingles experiment was a massive, maybe not a massive failure, but it certainly wasn't a success. Joe Ingles coming on over to Milwaukee. Pressing question, I guess, can the Bucks stay healthy enough to get back to the NBA Finals? I don't see why not. Health is a weird thing. I don't really want to predict injuries. So, all right, Golden State coming in at number 3, man. So Chris Paul comes on over. Draymond Green gets re-signed. Great move. B-Pod, one of my favorite draft picks. I wanted the Rockets to take him at pick number 20. Corey Joseph, that was early on in the offseason. I believe that was right before the Chris Paul move. And Dario Saric, who Cyro and I have been talking about, the Golden State Warriors needing to pick up Dario Saric for 2 seasons now. You did lose some important pieces. I feel like JaMychal Green is still a free agent. The pressing question here was Poole the main issue last season? Whoever wrote this article does believe was the main. I believe Poole was the issue with this team last season, though that doesn't mean he was the main cause of that issue. The team never came together after their Draymond Green punch and subsequent leak of the video. So my stance on Golden State last season is it has nothing to do with Jordan Poole. I don't think they had a great roster. They didn't have a horrible roster, but if we go back to their championship team, I mean, there are so many new faces. And their faces last season were not guys I felt comfortable with in big-time moments. If I have Otto Porter Jr., I have Bella Litza, I have all these guys on my depth chart. Well, I don't need Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga to really do much than just get those 10 minutes in the playoffs and just kind of be those Energizer bunnies. I don't think Golden State has any issues. Now, the big question is Chris Paul going to be starting? I think Chris Paul starting is retarded. What do you think?
I mean, Chris Paul starting can be good. I think the lineup that they would start though is Chris Paul at point, Steph Curry at shooting guard, Klay Thompson at small forward, Andrew Wiggins at power forward, and Draymond Green at center with Kevon Looney and Brandon Podziemski, Gary Payne the second, Darius Saric, and the rest of the boys being the second unit, which is like pretty freaking good. Obviously, we would all agree that it would be better that if they start Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Moses Moody, or like,
Ooh,
you know,
nah,
whoever.
dude, nah.
No. You're getting what I'm saying is like we don't know who's the starting. The reason why they start Chris Paul is because they don't have a starting. Like they
I'll
like the
tell
whole
you the
thing.
starting lineup. It's a
Go.
great starting lineup. It's Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney.
Yes, that was gonna be like that's last year's lineup, and then you have Chris Paul run the second unit. I just personally
But
think that I
we'll
think they
see him
need
start, or we'll see him with the starters all the time. Chris Paul.
Chris
We'll
Paul
see him
could
with
also
various.
be a ceremonial starter where it's like he starts 2 minutes and then they put him on the bench and they only start him to feed his ego.
Yeah, Paul on this team is interesting because him and Draymond do not like each other. Draymond has openly expressed his distaste for Chris Paul. But like for me, Kayvon Looney, he's played every game in the last 2 seasons. He started 70 of them this past season. I don't think he should be a bench player. Now he only got 8 out of 13 starts in the playoffs, 13 rebounds in the playoffs. He averaged a career high 9.3 rebounds this past season in the regular season. I think Kayvon Looney's a dog. Nonetheless, I think Golden State has a better roster than last season. I really like their draft picks in B-Pod and TJD, but I still am concerned with their lack of veteran depth. So Kuminga, Moody, I mean, it's a do or die year for both of them. Both of them.
Who are you saying? Who's the other guy?
Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga as those former rookies from that draft
So
class.
I think it's Jonathan Kaminga's last year. I actually think they like Moses Moody because Moses Moody's the only guy in the past 2 years to actually get minutes in the playoffs. Steve Kerr trusts Moses Moody in the playoffs more than he does Jonathan Kaminga.
I think Kuminga played in the finals. Let me see though.
But I'm pretty
No.
sure
Yeah.
Moses Moody, the last two playoffs, was an actual like 15 minutes at a game guy or like 12, something like that. Like he actually got minutes through the whole playoffs.
Moses is a dog. Yeah, 13.4 minutes this past season. So yeah, if we're going off especially playoff minutes, yeah, Moody is their guy over Kuminga.
So that's what I think. Unless Kaminga breaks out, I
Sorry.
mean, they were shopping around Kaminga this offseason to get like to get I think a center or something like that. They just didn't get any offers. There was no, not the center. They wanted to move up in the draft, and the whole thing was they were trying to trade Jonathan Kaminga and the 19th pick or 18th pick they had that they drafted Pod with for the 7th pick. They were offering Kaminga in the 19th for the 7th, and the Pistons said no. I
Wow.
haven't heard. I have not heard anything about them shopping Moses Moody. I've only heard them shop Kaminga. And I think it's because they know Moody actually can be a role player for them, while Kaminga, it's more about the potential.
Yeah, 100%. But Kuminga's potential is still crazy. Like when we see,
It
when we see
is.
Dre or Wiggins go out and Kuminga has to come in as a starter, there are so many flashes.
But
But yeah,
but
I mean,
but Moody fits into the role what they need Moody to do. He doesn't do too much. He does the 3-and-D role really well. He's got that 7-foot wingspan on a 6'7" frame. I just think they see Moody as being the more realistic guy that like maybe his ceiling isn't as high, but his floor is higher.
yeah, I think with the loss to Dante, I think they're you're right. They're feeling good about Moody as they should, as they should.
No, I completely agree, and I think that's where we're at. I think that's why they moved on from Patrick Baldwin and Ryan Rollins and the rest of the young guys. There's just like They're done waiting for those guys to reach the potential. They rather have Moses Moody and Brandon Podazimski, whose floors are really high, that
Mhm.
even if they don't reach their potential, they're still fucking solid, like 12 to 18 minutes a night guys.
Yeah, I think I think so. Aaron says Golden State seems to be done winning chips. Complete opposite from their standpoint, which makes total sense. Whether you agree they can win a championship or not doesn't matter
It
because they have
depends
Steph
this
Curry.
season. This is the
Bro,
last.
because it well,
Depends on the season they have this year. If Chris Paul look,
I
look,
I
if
but
what?
Chris Paul to me, I don't think is going to have much of a like that kind of impact on Golden State.
It's not
But
even like that. It's if Chris Paul is good this year for them and this Warriors team makes it to the second or third round of the playoffs, and maybe let's say the worst player on the team is Klay Thompson. You know what? They just decide, okay, we'll flip Klay Thompson for a better player. Maybe we bring back Chris Paul on a cheaper deal, and we just need to retool.
the reason the Golden State Warriors are title contenders is because there's this player who's still playing insane, and his name is Stephen Curry, and he's coming off of 29 and a half, 6 points, 29 and a half points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists season, shoot his highest 3-point percentage since 2018, 2019. And, you know, their window's closing soon. So Kuminga and Moody, Kuminga's picked at 7, Moody's picked at 14, Wiseman's picked at 3. There's huge expectations, or 2, right? Was Wiseman 2? Yeah,
Wiseman,
Wiseman was 2.
yeah, LaMelo was 3.
There's like expectations with because of where they're selected, even if both of those Kuminga and Wiseman being selected at 3 and 7 are project pieces. That's why I don't know why Golden State it's because of that one like COVID year they had all of these blessings. That's not really Golden State's MO. It's more of these B pods, these guys who are going to make an impact rookie year.
I I really also think the Warrior. All right, the Warriors filled up. I think they're still weak at the wing position, and
Very weak, yeah.
like I think that the front court's good with. I think Dario Saric is going to be a better version of Nemanja Bjelica. I think. I think Kevon Looney and Draymond Green. I'm fine with that. I would really like for them to sign like Rudy Gay. Not that I think Rudy Gay would push them over this, like push them over, but like that type of signing. Like they have 2 more roster spots, but they said they're only going to fill 1 roster spot, and they have two ways they're going to fill. I hope one of those 2 ways goes to Guy Santos. I wouldn't like if they brought an. I really want them to bring in a veteran, like a Jeff Green would have been cool. Obviously, he's off the market, so that's why I say Rudy Gay, a guy who could play power forward, small forward. I don't know. I feel like they're like one vet away from me really thinking they're serious. Maybe that we look at buyout candidates.
Yeah, definitely some possible buyouts. I'm looking at free agents right now. The only guy that really fits that is Terrence Ross. But
He was
somebody
ass.
they could potentially bring back is JTA. Because JTA in their champ run, he's familiar with the system.
I
He's played
know,
with them.
but he didn't play in the playoffs during that championship run.
You know, Javonte Green might be another guy. I can't remember if he's back on the Bulls or not. Very slim pickings here for wings.
Do you know how old JTA is?
I'm gonna guess 26.
He's 30 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's because he spent the first 4 years of his career playing in Mexico. So,
Oh,
and he didn't start
he's
playing
like
to what?
he's like what Jay Sean Tate will be in like
His
2
first,
years.
his rookie season, he's 26 years old.
Yeah, cheers.
And they had
Oh yeah,
they,
there's Golden State.
and they had him on the what's it called? They had him on the G League team for 2 years before he fucking broke onto the roster. After playing 4 years at
See,
Huh?
a little worried about him right now. Last year was a horrible season. Oh, Will Barton, but with Will Barton's performance in Toronto, I would
Will
steer
Barton's
away.
whole entire season last year.
Will Barton's last couple of Will Barton since he left Denver.
Yeah,
Pretty
with the
much.
Wizard. I mean, his 3-point shots still hit.
Okay, TJ Warren.
Didn't he sign with somebody?
Did he? I don't know how old this article is. Oubre, I know I've seen Oubre floated with Golden State.
I'd
TJ
rather have Kelly Oubre over all the other guys you listed.
Oh
though.
yeah, Kelly Oubre would be a home run. I think Kelly Oubre would change everybody's in the chat's current opinion on Golden State next season.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because that's a big ass player to have. I mean, that would be in that world. Yeah, give me Oubre and hell yeah, Kayvon come off of the bench. But anyways, that's Golden State. What's up, Josh? What's up, Thomas? Don't remember if I said
Sorry
what's
about
good.
the late time. I had a unexpected, not even unexpected. I knew I had to take my dog to the vet, but I called to get some shit set up. I had the vet for tomorrow, and they were like, "Well, can you just come in today? It's gonna be a lot easier." And I was like, "Sure." They're like, "Okay, be here in 15 minutes." I was like,
Yeah, usually I started this way late. Usually I'm able to get it going, but last night I played video games for the first time of the year, and I started a Cubs franchise in MLB, and I was like, I'm gonna play until I lose a game, and I won 6 straight, and it was like 3 a.m. and I'm like, I have to go to bed, and
What
I
were you
didn't.
on MLB The Show 23?
Yeah,
That game's fun. That game's fun.
it's so fun, dude. I love MLB.
So whenever the new game comes out, I get into it for like 2 weeks and then I get bored.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
it becomes very repetitive because you figure out how to hit the home runs, like where to hit the strike box and stuff like that. So
For me, I like playing franchise, and so it's just like
yeah,
NBA,
same.
where it's like you play like 10 games, and then you're like, oh, I don't really need to play the 140 next games.
Yeah.
So let's go to the playoffs.
No, I agree. I usually
And then yeah,
sell
you do that. You do that for 2 weeks, and it's boring. Yeah.
I sell my entire roster of anybody over the age of 21, and I bring up my whole minor league team for the first 2 years, and then
Just tank.
I spend the first 3 or 4 seasons, if they don't fire me, only drafting pitchers.
Oh wow. If they
And
don't fire you, that's
yeah,
true.
I only draft pitchers, and then I switch their positions if they're not good enough to make it as a starter or relief pitcher to like third base or like shortstop or like
Oh
left
my
outfielder
goodness.
if they're fast enough. And then my whole team ends up being a bunch of guys who used to be pitchers who switch
Jesus
positions,
Christ.
and everybody has massive arms, dude. Like by year 5, I remember I'd have like outfielders who could throw it from the back of the outfield to like home base without a problem because they're just former pitchers.
Ooh, there's nothing like getting a pick off at home too.
Yeah, it's so
And they're just
satisfying.
throwing darts.
Yeah, because like my whole team, like they're not good enough to be pitchers, like arm wise, but they're athletic, and like you get like 2-way. Because like now MLB The Show has like guys who are like 2-way players because they try to make it that you can draft like,
Oh, did it really?
yeah, like you can
That's
draft
sick.
like Shohei Ohan. What is it, Otani?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, and you can bat and pitch.
Pitch. So
Yeah.
I'll draft like the first couple pitchers I'll draft, they'll just be like pure pitchers. And then I start drafting like 2-way guys. And if they're not good enough to be pitchers, I make them a shortstop. I make them like third base,
That's
like,
crazy. Yeah, I've never heard of that. And I probably
yeah.
never will again. Yeah. That's
And so
cool.
my whole team is just, I mean, there are some of the guys are a little unathletic, but like, dude, I got a whole team of guys with arms.
Watch out for those Baltimore Orioles in 2028, guys. Even though they already are really good and have like the best farm system, every Orioles fan, thanks Cyro for cooking it up, showing the blueprint for the Baltimore Orioles.
I usually
What a cool
actually,
team.
it's weird actually when I play MLB The Show, I get pissed off with the Orioles because I think the Orioles have the least amount of money in the MLB.
Oh, okay.
And I usually choose the second poorest team because with the Orioles, you get fucked when you start doing contracts. You just
I
have to,
bet. Yeah.
you're just like, I guess I'm
You
not
need to.
keeping.
You have to be like Moneyball.
Yeah,
You have to. You have to Moneyball the Orioles,
yeah. So I
which they're
usually,
doing right now.
what I do usually is the Rockies because the Rockies are a pretty shitty team, but they have like 30 or 40 million more in money. So it's a little easier contract time to keep the players.
It's a cool spot to play at as well. Of course.
Yeah. Yeah. My girlfriend
The
just went, what?
Oh, she was just at Coors Field.
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw that on Instagram. That's a very cool park. I want
Yeah.
to go to all 30 teams.
I mean, every park copied Camden Yards. You know that, right?
Oh, really?
You know Camden
Dude, Camden
Yards.
is so cool.
Yeah.
Aesthetically is so cool.
So Camden Yards is the first modern ballpark. Every modern ballpark built after Camden Yards, like
Mm.
designs theirs off of Camden Yards.
Oh, cool.
And like the
Baltimore,
second,
man, paving the way.
1 second. This is
Oh,
Gabe.
sweet. I was worried. I've got so bad Wi-Fi. I love Colorado because I remember watching the
I
2007
I
World Series as a
look at the
kid.
private chat. Pull this up. What are you saying about the World Series?
Oh, that's like one of my childhood memories is watching Boston versus Colorado in 2007 and in my
I
old
forgot
house.
Colorado recently was like decent at baseball.
Dude, they were. I mean, this isn't very recent, but yeah, they were. They had a roster. Let me see that roster. I don't think the World Series was a close game or a close series. What is this? 2007 Rockies roster. Oh my God, yeah. What a loaded team. They didn't even win their division. All right. Todd Helton, legend. Troy Tulowitzki. Who remembers Troy Tulowitzki? What a fucking guy. Matt Holliday. What a player.
Okay, I was grabbing my phone because I wanted to pull something up, but it's dead and the charger I have just doesn't work.
Before Damian Lillard, I do in my what do we got going on here? Oh, in 2K, the first year I tank and then I trade everybody and I force trade into the draft. Every player on my roster for the first like 12 draft picks. So my whole team is like the lottery draft and it's so fun. But anyways.
All right, you know what I do in 2K? I trade all my players and I only draft or sign shitty players with A+ perimeter defense. So the first 10 players on my roster are 70 overall players with all A+ defense, and then I pick up two centers who have A+ rebounding, and then I pick up only one power forward with B perimeter defense and B inside defense, and then I get one scoring player, and I usually end up going like 80 and like 2 or like 75 and 2, and I can have a whole roster of 70 players and like 180 overall. And the reason why is because I have the number 1 defense in the league. And like, and then the one scoring player I have averages like 35 a night, and then I have two rebounding guys who can just rebound like 15 boards a night. So I end up winning because I'm a top 5 team in defense, top 5 team in rebounding, and I also make sure the rest of my players are shooters.
Damn, sounds like the Rockets fucked up the blueprint against in the late 2010s.
Switch over to Lillard.
We had Harden.
All right, so yesterday we talked about the Heat were putting a trade package for Damian Lillard that would include 3 or 4 first-round picks. Sources told Shams Charania that it was 3 to 4 first-round picks, potentially Tyler Hero, a bunch of second-round picks, draft swaps, a young player of Jovic or Jaime Jaquez. Now, today, Shams Charania comes out again and says that There's no real traction around Damian Lillard trade possibilities, sources tell Shams Charania. Charania adds that Lillard remains focused on only moving to the Miami Heat. This comes after the NBA warned Damian Lillard and his agent over making public comments that Damian Lillard only wants to play for the Miami Heat. Shams Charania reported on Monday that the Heat were putting together a trade package involving 3 to 4 first-round picks. And look, it's interesting because this report, it's from right here. I can read you the whole thing. A month after Damian Lillard requested a trade, there remains no real traction on any kind of deal. There remains no shift in Lillard's mind on his goal for playing only for Miami Heat in wake of the memo sent out by Adam Silver. However, a trade to Miami remains a snare to watch. The Heat, like I said, are putting together a package of expiring contracts, 3 to 4 first round picks, one of the team's younger players, with Tyler Hero going to a third team. The deal could potentially also include second rounders and pick swaps. Lillard requested a trade to only the Heat on July 1st. Last week, The Athletic reported a memo was sent by the NBA to all 30 teams saying that the league interviewed Lillard and Goodwin and about Lillard's stance about him only wanting to play for the Heat. And yeah, so I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty lame. I definitely see what Aaron's saying here. I don't think they'll trade him. I think they intend on keeping him. They never come across as caring about his wishes, despite their rhetoric. I think Blazer fans would, it's weird, man, because Dame sat out last season so that they could get a better draft pick to help their team and blah blah blah. They don't even have a close to championship roster, and Damian Lillard definitely knows that. And as much as he loves Portland, I think he's still. I mean, I get it. You want to accept. You want to. If somebody requests a trade, you want to trade them. But with that being said, your job as a GM also is to get the best possible package in return. And if Miami isn't offering anything you're interested in, well, no trade's going to happen, because if they did, the trade would have happened a month ago. But I do think Damian Lillard gets traded. I don't know why he's so adamant about only going to the Miami Heat, because I think there's a couple of rosters that would help. But with that being said, like Philly, Toronto, Miami's better than them. So I think it'll happen. But this is all just, I'm done with Damian Lillard. I'm done with Damian Lillard news.
Open this picture. This is I sent another thing. This is the last topic we're talking about today. Open this. Did the Los Angeles Clippers in 2020 get robbed? Okay, it doesn't seem like it was that far away, but Pat Beverly commented on one of those lazy aggregation accounts where they posted a picture of Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Montrezl Harrell, Lou Williams, Landry Shamet, and Beverly, with the caption saying, "We really thought this lineup was winning it all." Pat Bev commented, "We was until the bubble hit." Now the question is Pat Beverly correct? Were the Clippers going to win it all? When the bubble hit, they were the second best record in the West, second best net rating in the West. They were third offense in the league, fifth off defense in the league, and it sure looked like they were contenders in the first year of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. In the bubble, they were up 3-1 against the Denver Nuggets. Then collapsed when Marcus Morris screamed in the face of Paul Millsap. The Nuggets took it seriously and were offended. The Clippers did not take it serious, and they blew the series lead, losing in 7 games. Look, obviously we know Pat Beverly has delusional confidence. It's what made him earn a long, lucrative career in the NBA. But does he also feel like the Raptors are contending for the title if the bubble doesn't happen? They had a better record and a better defense than the Clippers, or maybe he just believes that the matchup of those Clippers against those Lakers. We never got to see what it would look like because the Clippers blew a 3-1 lead as the Lakers were waiting for their opponents for a few days in the conference finals. If anybody should really feel cheated by the bubble gods, it's either was the Brooklyn Nets the bubble, or was Brooklyn Nets the following year?
What do you mean?
It's no.
Oh, are you talking about in the championship?
Yeah.
Miami Heat.
No. The Kevin Durant, his foot was on the line.
Oh, what are you saying? Was that the bubble year?
Yeah.
No.
That was the year
that was the year after.
2021.
That was when the Bucks won, right?
Yeah. That everyone says if Kevin Durant didn't wear
Yeah.
too big of shoes, they would have won that.
Mm. So yeah, he's saying they're. I don't buy that they would have won the championship. The bubble ruined them. I mean, they were 44-20 before the bubble occurred, and I mean, you lost in the second round of the playoffs, and you had a 3-1 lead, and you lost to Denver. You didn't even make the Western Conference Finals. Your team didn't want to play in the bubble because they're all pussies, and the Lakers were going to beat you either way because they have LeBron James, who's a leader in their united roster, and the Clippers aren't because, I mean, Kawhi Leonard, I don't even think talks to his teammates. So, no, they had no shot, and it maybe would have been close if they took them to 7. If they made it to the Western Conference Finals and took the Lakers to 7, maybe I'd give them the benefit of the doubt. But they didn't even make the Western Conference Finals, and I don't even think they had that great of a roster. I mean, there's talent with Kawhi and Paul George, but I mean, the Lakers were better on paper and on the court. They had a decent team, but that was a really good year from Trez.
Dude, Trez is 29.
Nice. He's like the Schroeder. He's like the big man Schroeder. Pirtle, did you just link me, Pirtle?
Yeah.
Well.
Why does that look like Paul Millsap?
Legend.
Dude, did Serge Ibaka get pushed out the league?
No, I don't believe so.
Serge Ibaka has played 14 years and he's only 33.
Or so he says. I'm going to just throw in a guess here. All right, he's in the West. He's not a guard. He's older than 26.
He's in the West? Dude, Norman Powell. Norman Powell.
He's a guard. Pacific. Ooh, he's older than 31.
Oh, damn. Okay. He's in the Pacific?
Yeah.
Try Russell. Wait, Russell Westbrook. Yeah. Wait, no, don't.
He's not on the Clippers. And it's not a guard.
It's not a guard, you said. I thought you said it was a guard. Okay. No. They're saying Chris Paul, but I feel like his head's too big.
I don't think that looks like Chris Paul at all.
I know it's not a guard.
Bro, man. Oh, yeah, it's not a fucking guard. Yeah. What's that other? Is he on the Sun? It's Kevin.
Try Kevon Looney. It's not Kevon Looney. Try Draymond.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a good one. It's Draymond Green. Nice.
Yeah, guys. It was just his dude. Draymond Green's got like an alien head.
Yeah, it's got a huge head.
It's Draymond Green's old brain. That's like. All right, we should be at our normal time. Today was just a shit show. I was not expecting to be at the vet, and I was just at the vet for an hour. And then my dog scratched me all up. I'll show you. Look at this shit.
Oh, jeez. Battle scars.
Yeah, I got like there.
Cats don't do that. Actually, they do.
Yeah. Cats
probably do that more.
Though, look, I'm like so out of shape though right now.
Better put that away or I'll whip it out.
Yeah. Look, I need to get back into shape. My cardio is not up. I also just want to be back to normal.
What do you mean? Like live in a house?
Yeah, well, like the whole thing is like we have not been able to do this show like we normally do since I graduated college.
Uh,
You get what I mean?
yeah.
It's just been like on the fly this whole time since May 16th. And like basically in 3 weeks, we'll be back to normal. I mean, in a week, we potentially will be doing our first live episode together.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
So the plan is Jackson and I will we'll finally meet each other. We'll see how much Jackson will have to look up at me.
Yeah.
Because what? Luke's like 5'7".
I wish shoes on 5'9".
Huh?
It won't be that bad. I'm 5'9" with shoes.
I'm like
probably Nick's height ish.
I'm like 6'2" with shoes.
Oh, yeah. So definitely not Nick's height.
Am I taller than Nick?
Yeah, I think Nick says he's 5'11" with shoes.
Yeah, I'm like
I
6'2" with
think Nick's
shoes.
probably 5'10".
Yeah, I'm like 6 foot flat, 6'1", without shoes.
I'll go buy Burks.
I'll wear my Birks.
Fuck.
What do you call it? Yeah, no, it's just kind of funny because, like, dude, one of my good friends, Henry, who's a scout with me, he's like my height. We're both 6'1", but he has T-Rex arms. He's like, yeah, I have a 5'10" wingspan on a 6-foot frame. I'm like, no way. I'm 6'1" with 6-foot arms, and we stood next to each other. His hands was like this next to my hand, like arm. Like when we were standing like this, we just both stood up straight and put our hands like this. His hand was like right here on my hand.
You love sharing this story.
It's just geek as fuck.
It's
Well,
probably the fourth time I've heard.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you.
Well, Luke comes on, you gotta tell Luke. Nick comes on, you gotta tell Nick. Yeah, tall people, man, they like being tall. I'm aware of it.
I'm like, I didn't realize, like, I'm not tall, but like, I
Don't
realized
sit on a plane, fucking asshole.
I hate being on planes. I never
Go sit in the back row, the back of the plane in the middle of the row. Get back to me.
I'm usually the guy who's at
And then
the
tell
end.
me about your wingspan.
Well, the thing is I've never done vertical exercises, and I want to.
Dude, I'm saying, man, pull the Gerald Green. When you get to Florida, pull the Gerald Green and just throw on ankle weights for like the first month.
Oh, I forgot
That's what
what
Gerald
Gerald
Green
Green
did.
did. Yes, that he said he used to play basketball as a high schooler.
No, he would use not only basketball, normal life. At all times, he said he had ankle weights on.
No
He said he would
way.
just wear ankle weights, yeah. So just throw on ankle weights when you get to Florida. Wear it for your first month.
What if I make a documentary and I'm like, I'm gonna wear ankle weights every minute of my life for the next month, and then we're gonna try to dunk a basketball?
I think it'd be a great experiment.
I
think you should do it.
I might do that.
Yeah. I think it's
But
a good idea.
well, the thing is I can grab rim. I can grab a rim.
Yeah, so then it'll be easy documentable because it's like I can already grab the rim. So if you 30 days pass and you can dunk, I mean, it clearly fucking works.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is like getting the ball over. I've never been able to because
Yeah.
I can only palm a ball for like
palm that shit.
Well, the thing is, I can
Yeah.
only palm it for like a second or two.
Yeah.
I can't palm a basketball. I can palm a women's ball and like, but like when I can hold the basketball for like 2 seconds and then I lose it.
Yeah, same.
But like,
I can't do it lefty though.
dude, Luke the other day too, we were like measuring. Luke had like baby hands on my hands. Like Luke's,
Which is so weird because I view Luke as like probably like 6 feet.
Luke's like 5'7".
Yeah, I don't believe. Do you guys have a picture together?
I
Like
got
on
5.
Instagram? Let me
Dude,
go to Luke's Instagram.
dude, when we went to the NBA scouting combine and I was walking next to Luke, I was just like, I look like Luke's like my agent because Luke also Luke insisted on wearing a suit. Okay.
Nice.
And I was like, I'm just gonna wear jeans and a suit jacket. Like I won't let you go in a suit by yourself. And
Nice.
I looked like just like business casual. Luke literally looked like he was my agent following me around. like I was like an NBA prospect and he was like my little like Persian agent.
Is he Persian?
Yeah, he's Persian.
Oh
That's
wow,
why have you never?
this picture really brings out, I think, for me
Yes,
that he might
yes.
not be the tallest guy.
And that's my friend Baker. And Baker's like my height. Baker and I are the same height, basically.
Okay, all right.
So that's how I look next to Luke.
Damn, is Luke's sister taller than him? Is that his sister?
I think so.
Hannah Elizabeth? I
No,
don't want to be name dropping Luke's sister if that is. Sorry, Luke.
I don't know. I've never met Luke's sister. I've met his twin brother. Did you know Luke's
Oh,
twin
he's got a
brother played
twin brother. That's sick.
who played
Wait, what?
D3 bat?
Oh, do you
His,
really?
his
What's his
brother
brother's
played
name?
Andre.
Do they look super similar, or are they
No,
not
no.
identical?
Luke's brother has a full head of hair. Like
Oh
has like
no.
yeah. Uh Luke's brother Luke's brother has a full head of hair and played D3 basketball.
Damn.
Though
Can't,
I have
I
played
can't find him.
I have played Luke's brother like 5 times in basketball. And if his brother's D3,
Oh, because he's D3, yeah.
I could have played D3. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying I would have started. I would have been off the bench. I'm fully aware of what I am. I'm an off the bench psychopath. Not like I would have been a coach's dream. A coach tells me to sweep the leg, I would have told them which leg. And
I
how
can't find
hard.
this guy. I'm trying to help
He,
these guys. He's
oh,
saying he's
I
seriously
found
saying
him
he's
the
got
other.
full head of hair.
No,
Andre is
Andre's full. Like
sounds like
Andre. So Andre has more black people hair, and it's like he has a fade on the side and he has a high top.
fuck, dude. Do you know how to spell Andre? Isn't it like normal spelling?
Just go to Luke's followers or following.
That's what I'm doing. I don't see any Andre.
Or do
Is
Dre.
it Get Money Dre?
Yeah, Get Money Dre. That's it.
Is that him?
Yes, Get Money Dre.
Oh, so he's his younger brother.
No, it's his twin.
How the fuck is that his twin? Oh my god, dude, that does look like Luke. That's weird though. Can I pull up his?
Yeah, go for it.
Like it looks like Luke. This looks like this
Luke
looks
with
like
hair.
my friend. I'm gonna pull up my buddy because this looks exactly like my friend Alex, and it's creepy.
Aaron, I would have warmed up a D3 bench. I wouldn't have started in D3. I would have been an off the bench guy. Yeah.
Don't these
Yeah.
look similar?
Yeah.
This is my buddy Alex.
Is he Persian?
I know. I'm gonna send him this picture though.
What do you call it though? Yeah, no. I've every time I played Luke's brother in basketball, I thought like I at least could have walked on and been off the bench in D3.
This guy is D3 basketball.
Yes. Bro, like,
Damn,
like
I
I'm
can't.
not.
He doesn't have. He has nothing on Instagram, so I can't see his height.
He's
This
like the
dude
same
looks
height.
super small. Yeah, because this is. I mean, this is. Oh, this is a throwback, I guess, but that's Luke's brother in the middle there, and he does not look tall in the slightest form at all.
He's like an inch taller than Luke. He's like
Yeah, you
5'8".
definitely could play T3. Yeah, okay, he's 5'8". Yeah, so he's fucking nothing.
I'm telling you,
crazy.
I could have. I'm not saying I would have started in D3. I could have walked on to a D3 team and been a defensive pass first backup who played 10, 15 minutes a night. I could not have played D1. Do not think I could have played D1. I could have walked on and been a backup in D3. I don't think I could have started. I would have I'm not a good enough ball handler to start in D3. I'm good enough at defense. Like I probably have like D1 defensive capabilities. Like half the time I've had multiple friends who play D1 and when I guard them, they're just like, how do you know how to defend this well? Like I'm just like it. I've just learned. I'm just like a really good defender. Like abnormal. Like I'm like honestly, I sometimes like I like I have to like I feel bad playing defense when I'm at like the rec because like I keep getting steals and I'm like these kids probably hate playing with me because I'm just like taking the ball. Like it's like taking candy away from a baby sometimes when I play defense.
Must be your wingspan. Do you have a long wingspan?
Shut the fuck up. It's actually not my wingspan. It's actually it's my hips. I have really good hips. So like I do a good job of like
You know who's punching the air right now?
who?
Killian Hayes. He's
Why?
watching
His
this show
hips?
right now. He's like, "You fucking son of a bitch." He tore his hip.
When?
What was his? Was it senior year of college or was it his rookie year? I think it was his rookie year, maybe a couple games in. Well, apparently, like the torn hip is one of the worst injuries in basketball or in sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was his rookie season. Yeah,
I
Killian
didn't
Hayes
know.
is punching the air.
All right, guys, we're gonna go. Cheers.
I'm surprised my Wi-Fi held up. I lost you guys for a second, but I refreshed and you were still talking. So
I
it
didn't
works.
even notice.
Cool. Yeah.
At least we did 50 minutes.
Yeah. Stupid game.
Till tomorrow.
All right. See ya. See ya, Toms. Aaron. Thanks for watching. Ciao.